Do you want to hear the most uncomplicated strategy to starting an online business? It is simply to decide what you're going to do, what the goal is, what you're aiming for, and then do it. That is the strategy. That is what it takes to start an online business. And I know that this sounds ridiculously simple and you're sitting there thinking, it can't be this simple. It literally is. It literally is. You make a conscious decision that you want to start a business. You make a conscious decision that this is the action that you want to take, the outcome that you want to get. You draw a line in the sand and then you start moving towards the thing. And as long as you can not stop moving towards the thing, you'll get there. Like, this is the thing that blows my mind. Online, the world that we live in right now, all of this instant gratification and social media and influencers and people telling you that they, woke up one morning, decided to start a business, and then they were massive and they were making millions and they were making 7 figures. Like, yes, fine, that can happen to the odd person, but actually in reality, most people go on a journey of a decade before they get good enough to actually start the business, before they learn the skills, before they actually are able to understand what they need to know and what to do and how to do it. And for most people, the reason that they don't succeed is because they give up. It's because, hello baby, it's because they decide that actually the dream isn't worth it. The dream isn't worth the struggle. The dream isn't worth the pain. The dream isn't worth the outcome that they think that they'll never actually get. So they think, oh, it's not for me. And one of my favorite things that I think is so important is when I hear people who are really, really stupidly successful saying that entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. If you don't have a purpose, a passion, something that really lights you up and you think this is the difference that I want to make in the world, this is the reason why I'm the person who can teach this thing or do this thing or help people with this thing. If you don't have that, it's going to be so difficult for you to stay the course when things get hard. To walk the path when nothing seems to be making sense. And the reason why this simple strategy doesn't work, the reason why people don't set a goal and just do it, is because so many other things come up, and most of these things are things that are within us. So fear, imposter syndrome, this idea of like, oh, I'm just going to talk myself out of it because I'm not worthy enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not the person who can do these things, I'm not the person who can take this action. The more that we sit and we talk ourselves out of, and the more that we look for validation from people who don't have the desires that we want, the easier it's going to be. And one of the really clear things that I need you to understand is you will always get what you pay attention to. Okay, so if you sit and you think, I'm never going to be able to do this, I'm never going to be able to work it out, I'm never going to be able to figure it out, I'm never going to be able to get the same result as that person over there, I'm years behind this person on my journey, it's going to take me forever, I'm never going to be able to have the success, guess what? That is exactly what is going to be your reality. If you're constantly telling yourself, like, people like me don't figure this business thing out, people like me don't have this success, people like me don't get this result, that is going to be what you live in. If you're constantly surrounding yourself with people who live in fear, who have never done the things that you want to do, who think it's like impossible to do the things that you want to do, it's going to be so easy to be convinced that it's impossible. It's going to be so easy to be convinced that nobody in your direct world is able to do it. So when you're going through this process, like, you have to think to yourself, who am I surrounding myself with? Am I surrounding myself with people who are on the same path as me, who are entrepreneurs if you're wanting to start a business, who are survivors if you are talking about your healing and your trauma, who have gone through this process themselves and have an idea as to what the hell it is I'm talking about? Because if I sit down with my family and all of them are employed and all of them get paid a job and they work 9 to 5 and they get paid a salary, and I say to them, guys, I'm going to start a podcast, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, I'm going to run my own online business school, I'm going to start a social media account and start to influence people around the world to start their own businesses and have their passions and follow their purposes. They're all gonna look at me like, what? That's crazy. Like, you can't do that. People like us can't do that. What are you talking about? Like, isn't that really scary? Isn't that really dangerous? Isn't that really unstable? Like, how are you going to make sure that you can pay your bills? All of these things. Like, they're going to say all of these things. And it's so easy to fall into that trap and think like, this is my reality. This is all I can have. This is all that's available to me, because all of these people who I love and trust are telling me that's all that there is. And what you've got to remember is they're seeing your plans through their lens. If they have never decided that they're going to start a YouTube channel, they've never decided that they're going to push their boundaries at all, they've just stayed in their own little bubble, they're not going to get why you want to do this. So when you're going through and you're setting your goal and you're thinking, this is the thing that I want to achieve, this is the business that I want, this is the client that I want to help, you have to keep that core purpose at the front of everything that you do. You have to keep it so dead centered to be able to say everything needs to align back to this goal. Everything needs to align back to having a business that helps this group of people and makes me wildly successful at the same time. Yeah, you can have both of those things. They don't have to be either. And what I want you to think about when you're going through this process and you're thinking about like, okay, so how do I action this? How do I get to the point where I decide on the strategy and then I just do the thing? Like, how do I do that? What does that look like? Because so many people ask me this question. It's really simple, okay? So firstly, you have to have a really strong vision. You have to write down, design on Canva, design on a vision board, like however you do this, whatever works for you. You need to have the clearest vision to the point where you can see it, you can feel it, you can smell it, you can like feel like you can touch it, and it's like right there available to you. It's like right there, it's right there. And you know that it's coming and you know that it's yours and you know that you can have it. And when you can get into that energetic alignment, it is so good for your intuition to then tell you the actions that need to be taken, because you know what needs to be done to get this result. Like, you instinctively know, you're just not listening to yourself. So when you start to connect in with this vision and you start to say, okay, this is what I want, this is the vision, this is how many clients, this is the type of house I want to live in, this is the type of holidays I want to go on, this is the amount of money that I want to earn, this is the type of partner that I want to have, like whatever it is that you are desiring, it doesn't even matter. It could be all of those things, it could be one of those things, it could be none of those things, and something completely different. You want to literally think, how can I make this vision so juicy, so like amazingly correct, that I can't even imagine it not being so. I can't even imagine it not coming true. Like, I can't even imagine settling for less than what is available to me. And when you make your vision so amazing, it's really easy to get into an energetic alignment with it. And when you're in that place, you can start to write new beliefs that serve you. So before, you might have believed that, you know, somebody like you doesn't get the success. And once you've got your vision really clear, you might believe that somebody like you can have this success, of course, and it's on its way to you now. So you can see like this shift in belief that you can make. And you can do this like multiple times. You can literally shift from I'm not worthy to I am worthy. You can shift from, you know, I don't know what I'm doing to I know the best decision to make for my business. You can shift from, you know, I never ever have like an abundance of money, you know, amazing travel, amazing partner, whatever it is, an amazing business. Like, I never have an abundance in this area, and now actually you're going to shift yourself into connecting with the person who does have abundance in that area, connecting with the version of you that is already living that success, that is already living that way of being. Like, and you can think about it as like, you know, the version that you are now, version like 1, and then the version that you're becoming, version 2, like what is the belief shifts that need to happen to become that person? What are the beliefs that you have to change in order to become that person? And then once you've got those beliefs and you know these are the beliefs that I need to fully embody and fully live by, you've then made a conscious decision that like, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. However, at this point, most people think that the hard work is done. And darling, can I tell you, the hard work is only just beginning. Because now you have to energetically align yourself with those new beliefs all of the time. So like every time you have a bad thought come up, you need to realign to the energetic belief of the thought that serves you better. Anytime you have a lack thought, you need to realign to abundance. Anytime, and this could be like once a day, or this could be like a million times a day, and you need to be able to do this real time. Every single day, every single minute, every single second, anytime a thought comes up. And you need to be able to realign yourself. Now, it's so easy for us to get into this like, oh, woe is me, everything's hard for me, why can't my life be easier? Whereas actually, we can flip back into abundance like so quickly and so easily if we let ourselves. So I'll give you an example. This morning I woke up. It's winter in South Africa, for anyone who doesn't know, and it's dark when I wake up in the morning, which if you don't know me, I hate that. I would much rather prefer waking up way later and waking up in daylight hours and not having to get up early. However, my routine and my discipline is that I go to the gym twice a week. I run 3 to 4 times a week, every single week, and Mondays are my gym days. So I decided, okay, we're getting up, we're going to gym, this is the plan. But when I woke up, my instant thoughts were, I don't want to do this, I don't want to get up, I don't want to have to go outside in the cold, like I don't understand why life can't be easier, like why can't I just live in a country that's always like warm? I mean, South Africa's warm most of the time, but I still get those thoughts. Even though like they're not logical, like I still get them. Like I still think to myself, why couldn't I go later in the day? And then I have to like just stop and remind myself, like realistically, I chose the time that I wanted to go to the gym because it means that I can go with my dad and my husband and I can have gym buddies, which I love. I choose to go early in the morning because it sets me up for such an incredible day. It gives me so much energy, it makes me feel so good, and by the time I get home I'm like, yes, I can do this, I can do this day, like everything's gonna be amazing. And I had to pull myself up in that moment immediately and be like, I know why I do this. I know why I put myself through this discomfort, because it has a bigger knock-on effect. It has a bigger reason as to what it can like help me achieve. So in that moment, I like reshifted my focus and I started to think about what I'm grateful for. Like I'm grateful that I've got a gym membership. I'm grateful that I can go to a gym indoors and actually work out and not have to be like outside or working out at home. I'm grateful that I have people around me who will go to the gym with me and keep me disciplined and, you know, be my gym buddies. I was grateful because when I got to the gym, I was given a free smoothie for attending gym regularly. Like all of these things that I can just like shift into the energy of gratitude, shift into the energy of like, this is the person I'm becoming, this is the person I want to be, this is how I want to show up in the world. And we keep these shifts going, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going until the thought of me not wanting to go to the gym just no longer exists. Until the thought of me waking up at that time just no longer exists. Till it just becomes the person that I am. But we have to be able to shift those thoughts in those moments and recognize the thoughts that need to be shifted, which is like really, really important. Now, one of the really important things is once you start to do this more regularly, you'll start to create a safe space for your intuition to start coming through. You'll start to create a safe space where your body realizes that you trust yourself. Your body realizes that you're saying nice things to it, that you believe that it's possible. And the more that you do this, the more that intuition will land and creativity will land and inspiration will land. And you'll suddenly be like, oh, wouldn't it be great if I did this thing? And you won't even think about the outcome that might come from it. You'll just be like, oh, I really feel like posting that reel today, or I really feel like talking about this topic today, or I really feel like texting this person and like going out for a coffee date with them, or, you know, I really feel like tidying a room of the house and like making it feel really spacious and really gorgeous. And slowly but surely, you'll start to see this shift in whatever area of your life that you're focusing on into the person that you need to be, the version 2 that can have the desire that you want, that can have the thing that you want, that can, exist in the way that you want. And the more that you follow your intuition, the more that your intuition will show up for you. The more that you trust your gut, the more that your gut will tell you what to do. The more that you know that you hold the answers within you, the quicker the answers will come out to you, because you know that they're there. They just need to come to the surface. Like, it's so easy once you open the tap of intuition and abundance, but getting the tap to open and waiting for the water to come can be really, really difficult, because of this missing gap of shifting your beliefs in every single moment. So when we think about the strategy is we set a goal. We say, this is what we want. We want to earn £2,000 to £5,000 a month consistently in our business. We say, we are going to do this. There is no other option. We are going to achieve this goal. There is not a plan B or a C. We are going to achieve this particular goal, no matter how long it takes. And then we get down to rewriting any of the beliefs. I know I can do this. People love paying me. People love showing up in my business. Money comes from everywhere. I can create offers that people want to buy. Like, whatever you need to tell yourself, whatever the beliefs are that you need to shift, you get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, of course people want to pay me. Of course people want to work with me. Of course people want to be in my business school. Of course people want to be on the podcast as a guest. Of course, massive authors want to come and work with me and be on the podcast and share me with their audiences. Like, of course this happens. And the more that happens, the more that your intuition tells you, like, oh, why don't you message this person? Why don't you reach out to this person? Why don't you, go live and talk about your program? Why don't you go into this community and tell them about what you do? And you start to get these intuition hits of alignment, of this is how you get to the result that you want. Like, people get so caught up in strategy thinking that it's going to be like a 5-step, like, oh, you post this template and then you put this over here and then you do this. Like, it doesn't work like that. Every single business is different. Every single person's passion and purpose and way of getting to where they want to be is different, which means you have to be able to tap into who you are, what you want, how you want to do it in the world, and then bring that out into the world with so much confidence and so much passion that people can't help to be attracted to you. They can't help to look at you and think, oh my gosh, I need that person in my life as my mentor, my business coach, my lover, my friend, like whatever aspect you want to attract in. You can only do that when you are being the truest, most authentic version of yourself. So park the fear, park the imposter syndrome, park all of the things that tell you that you are not the person, or you can't do the thing, or you can't have the result, and get back to why you can. Get back to leaning into why it is possible for you. Why not you? Literally, why not you? Ask yourself that question. Like, oh my gosh, isn't that a way better way to move into a business strategy? Isn't that a way better way to proceed in life, where you just believe that everything is possible for you, and why not you? Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I could absolutely talk about this forever, but next week we're gonna talk more about healing and the journey of where it starts and ends and how it all works. But for now, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna say I will see you guys next week. As always, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the platform, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.